I'm going to talk about weapon number 3. Stay tuned. Oh, it's 51 degrees outside, and the water is 51 degrees, but it feels far colder. So here we go. I felt a little too full yesterday. I had to drain it. You have to drain these things once a week, clean them out. So I put just a little too much water in. That's okay. Okay. So remember I said I'm going to talk about weapon number 3. And it has to do with courage. It's the most courageous weapon actually that you have to find. You have to find courage to engage it, but man, is it liberating. And I've had some people say, oh Gary, these cold plunges takes courage. No, it doesn't. It takes a little stupidity maybe, but not courage. I don't like the cold any more than anybody else does, but I do like the feeling afterwards. It's kind of amazing. And I wouldn't have tried it had my son not bought me this thing, so I'm kind of in now. So let's go back to weapon number 3. So why is courage required? Because here's the weapon. Shine a light on the stuff you don't want anybody to know. Shine a light on the stuff that you've worked really hard to keep hidden. See what I mean? That almost seems masochistic, but it's not. Now, I'm not saying just go air your dirty laundry everywhere, but I'm saying the stuff that you have been bottling up inside because you're embarrassed, you're afraid that somebody's going to reject you. And in that book, weapon number 3, I use an example of the woman actually who was the impetus for me writing the book, Tana Green. One of very few people that I actually mentioned by name in the book. But when she said, Gary, I don't know what I'm doing, and she had 10,000 W-2 employees, that's when I was like, wait a minute, you know. And it was because she had a 2-year secretarial degree that she just didn't want everybody else in the WPO, Women's Professional Organization, to know about. But there was something far greater that she revealed in her book called Creating a World of Difference. And that's where she put a big old spotlight on the stuff she kept hidden for a long time. Here's what I mean. When she was 15, she got pregnant and had a child out of wedlock. Not something you want to talk about here in the South. She ends up getting married to the guy, has the baby, and then he beats her up so badly, puts her in the hospital, and abandons her and the baby. Again, something that you're not real proud of telling the world. So she wants to go and finish high school, but she doesn't want to just get a GED, nothing against that. But she wanted to go and graduate and walk the line from high school. She went back to high school, baby in tow, and finished a couple years behind where her normal graduating class would have been. Ooh, that takes courage. But then she could only afford a 2-year secretarial degree, back to the initial conversation that I had with her at one point that kind of kick-started the whole book idea. And as she rose in prominence and her companies became more and more successful, she was hobnobbing with some very powerful women in the Women's Professional Organization. But she couldn't talk about those other things, but she kept them hidden, and they were holding her back. Not anybody else, but they were holding her back. And then she wrote a book about it, Creating a World of Difference. Go get it on Amazon. It's really good. It's a fast read, but it's beautiful, and she designed it too. Very talented. But man, that takes courage. But what she found was it liberated her dramatically, and it liberated many others who also were suffering in silence. That kicks imposter syndrome in the teeth. All right, That's 440. So my question to you is there something that you're hiding that you just don't want anybody to know? And I'll tell you what one of mine was. I'm a college dropout. And every job I've had since my first 2 out of college were master's preferred, bachelor's required. And in every instance, somebody circumnavigated the HR system to hire me. But man, it was an albatross around my neck. I couldn't talk about it, you know. I had MBAs working for me that I actually had to fire that had unbelievable resumes, and here I am 2 years at Kansas State. But man, people don't care. They don't care. I thought they cared. They don't care. You be you. Celebrate your anything but typicalness and the anything but typicalness in others. By the way, that's weapon number 7.